Chicago's south and west sides are dense with commercial ambition, though much of it remains latent. As you look across the historic streetscape, you see the physical marks of prolonged underinvestment that often stalls that local drive. The drive is there. Residents like Kashana Millsap have clear plans for early education centers focused on STEAM, while locals like Jim Williams are already organizing to restore vacant neighborhood properties and hire local teenagers to do the work. But to turn those plans into brick-and-mortar operations, they have to walk into traditional banking institutions. There, they face underwriting algorithms that demand flawless financial histories, perfect credit scores, and heavy upfront collateral. Because these neighborhoods have been starved of resources for generations, most local applicants can't meet those rigid metrics. This creates a market failure where viable business ideas are suffocated right at the starting line simply because they lack initial funding. A structural blockage traps this local potential, preventing community talent from scaling into sustainable businesses. To bypass that blockage, you need a different financial mechanism. Greenwood Archer Capital is a nonprofit community development financial institution, or CDFI, built specifically to lend in the space that sports and regional banks refuse to operate. This map shows where their money actually goes. Right now, 90% of their loans are distributed directly to minority-owned businesses in these historically ignored areas. Writing checks is only the first step. To ensure these new operations actually survive, the organization uses a strict two-part methodology. Fixing decades of systemic financial exclusion means abandoning the standard algorithm. You have to underwrite based on actual human relationships. Here is the raw financial output. In 2025, Greenwood Archer approved $2.8 million in flexible capital. These loans average $70,000 but scale up to $500,000. They carry competitive rates and never penalize borrowers for paying early. Offering these terms to people who were previously denied credit requires a process called alternative underwriting. It allows the lender to bypass the traditional demand for hard collateral. Instead of feeding a credit score into a computer, loan officers look at the applicant's character, their deep commitment to the work, and the specific impact their business will have on the neighborhood. This flexible capital provides the liquidity needed for these entrepreneurs to establish themselves in the market. But dropping large amounts of cash into a historically unsupported vacuum carries risk. Without guidance, new businesses often struggle to manage that sudden influx of resources. To protect the investment, Greenwood Archer acts as a business partner. They pair their capital with deep, wraparound educational support. They offer technical services like personalized financial planning and business-to-business networking. They also run the Owner's Table workshop series, connecting founders with experienced advisors and peer insights. These tools are completely free to community members. They teach owners how to strengthen daily operations, navigate complex financial decisions, and map a sustainable growth trajectory. Flexible capital builds the foundation, but this wraparound knowledge ensures the business actually survives to scale. Combining funding with operational knowledge creates a ripple effect, addressing systemic community crises through local business development. The Southside Market and Cafe Cooperative is a clear example of this dynamic at work. The surrounding neighborhood has historically operated as a food desert. Nearly 1 in 5 residents here live with limited or completely uncertain access to safe, nutritious food. This map tracks the direct impact of that single grocery cooperative. By fall of 2025, this one market will provide affordable, healthy food to over 400 families per month, effectively dismantling the local food desert. Investing in a strategic local business provides a foundation for community stability and engagement across the surrounding neighborhood. Over the long term, these community-owned operations create stable, local jobs. They establish permanent pathways for residents to take actual ownership of their commercial corridors. Pairing flexible capital with specialized knowledge provides the tools necessary for founders to build and sustain generational wealth. Greenwood Archer needs partners to scale these client-centered strategies across Chicago. You can invest in these entrepreneurs and help expand that opportunity. When we put resources behind strong, vibrant business owners, we move closer to a city where economic prosperity is shared by everyone.